we have the Marquette Hotel to thank for that. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Ahmed Ahmed and let him sit down. This is my producer, Taylor Feldner. If you can give me a round of applause. Thank you, Ulysses. You're very welcome. The god of, was it Ulysses, god of war? Is that the king of something? First of all, I want to thank the theater again and the Minneapolis St. International Film Festival, the Marquee Hotel, and all the hospitality they have shown us. So give them a big round of applause. And thank you guys. We weren't expecting this kind of turnout in Minneapolis, so this is... And I want to say this before we begin. If you noticed, when the film started, there were some glitches on the screen, which we're total perfectionists, and we're like, oh, that's not us. Maybe it's the projector. But what we realized is this HD cam copy of this particular film has traveled around the world and back like 23 times, I think. So I think it's just worn out. So sorry about that. Yeah, we're gonna bury it tomorrow morning. Give it a proper burial. So any questions?
Sure. Yeah. When did you do principal photography? And I understand some stuff happened in Egypt recently. So.
Yeah, you know, we just overthrew our government. Not that big of a deal. President Mubarak got Facebooked. Twitter and Facebook made this guy step down. I thought it was impressive. I actually owe it to Mark Zuckerberg, the Jewish Facebook creator. Tip my hat to Zuckerberg. We shot it in 2009. We shot it in, we shot the first part of it in about 3 weeks. It was a total of a month of filming. We shot 200 hours of footage. It took us 6 months to edit, and we shaved it into 72 minutes. But it was April 2009 when we did the principal. And then I'll talk about it later, but we shot a sequel called Just Like Us 2, TOO. And this was also sort of pre-revolution, but we filmed in Oman, Muscat, Oman, Doha, Qatar, Damascus, Syria. Ironically enough, we're getting killed over there too. Amman, Jordan, and recently Palestine. So look out for the sequel at next year's festival. We hope. Here's $5. You had a question, sir?
Would you be able to do the same thing today?
Absolutely, yeah. Because of the recent events. Yeah, we're actually going back to Egypt to do live shows in July. From what I hear from my family and relatives and promoters and friends, the revolution kind of cleaned out all the old energy. There's about 20% of some residual energy still existing in the government, but they're slowly being filtered out. Tahrir Square, Liberation Square, is it's going off. It's like a hot spot there right now. There's vendors and people selling things and shops, and they're excited. They're excited about this change. It's interesting that we filmed this before the revolution because we saw it kind of about to happen. Every time I'd go back to Egypt, I'd see the economy just keep digressing, and I was asking everybody, like, what's going on in Egypt? And they were like, oh, it's Mubarak, and you know, he doesn't want to give us money, and everybody's poor, he's stingy, and they were like complaining about the government. So I wasn't surprised when it happened. I was like, oh wow, I kind of saw that coming. And when you're a country of 82 million people, you can kind of speak out and get your message across. So we're definitely looking forward to going back to the Middle East, and Egypt will be our first stop. Inshallah. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Hi.
It seemed like for a revolutionary kind of a thing, I'm bringing comedy to it. Is seemed like you were pretty welcome. Was there any kind of protest or pushback that we didn't see?
During the comedy shows, you mean? No, they, you know what happened was we started doing comedy there right around the time YouTube started. And so a lot of Arabs, like I'll give you a backstory. I used to do a comedy show with an Iranian guy and 2 Palestinian guys, and it was called the Axis of Evil Comedy Tour. And it was around the time President Bush coined the phrase Axis of Evil. We thought it was so ludicrous that we would do a play on words. We were looking for a North Korean, and we couldn't find a North Korean, so we settled with a South Korean. And his name's he speaks perfect Arabic. This guy. He's born in Vietnam, but South Korean. Born in Jordan, actually. Raised in Saudi, or vice versa. Born in Saudi, raised in Jordan. But he's this Asian guy who speaks perfect Arabic. So we did an Axis of Evil comedy tour in the Middle East. But what happened was, people were already watching us on YouTube before we knew we had a fan base there. So we were booked to do 2 shows in Jordan, and the tickets, sold so fast that they added 2 shows. So then, right around that time, before I was banned from Dubai, I was talking to a producer at Showtime Arabia over there, and I said, hey, we're doing 4 sold-out shows in Jordan, of all places. Do you want to, follow up and, try to tackle some other countries? So we did Lebanon, Dubai, Egypt, Kuwait, Egypt and Kuwait. It was 5 countries total. And we ended up doing 27 sold-out shows in like 30 days. Like 20,000 people showed up. And everybody was saying the same thing. Oh man, I watched you on YouTube. You're so funny. It's like, oh. And it was a catch-22 though, because YouTube would hurt us or help us. Because sometimes people would come up to us and say, I saw your joke on YouTube. Why did you do the same joke? But then you have other people that were like, I saw you on YouTube. You didn't do the joke. So it was like, you can win. But YouTube was really my agent. Facebook and the internet just opened everything up over there. So, and that's how the revolution started. Really, it was from the internet, technically.